On June 7th, 4 best friends and a bunch of their friends will pile into a TV studio in Philadelphia with buzzers, microphones, lights, and trivia to recreate 24 of their favorite game shows, streaming online, live and uncensored. It's the 12th annual 24-hour game show marathon, raising $10,000 for Child's Play, a nonprofit dedicated to supporting children's hospitals around the world through the power of play. To learn more or to donate towards the $10,000 goal, go to gameshowmarathon.com.
You've tuned in to the Crispy Noodle Podcast.
You realize what you've done?
With Rich Liebig.
The real gangster plays his cards, right?
And Michael Costanzo.
What was that you just read?
Let us be the Crispy Noodle in your vegetarian salad of life and boring news.
Good times, noodle salad.
The point is, you now have the ability to be happy.
And now, here's Rich and Mike on the Crispy Noodle Podcast.
Woo! Yeah! How you guys doing?
What's up, everybody?
It is time for this week's episode of the Crispy Noodle Podcast. Let us be the Crispy Noodle in your vegetarian salad of life and boring news. We've got sports. We've got entertainment. You know what? I'm not even going to hide the lead here. We got the draft this week. I've got to talk WrestleMania. It was a busy week. This was a week where just everything was firing on all cylinders as far as I'm concerned. So we've got a lot to update you on this week's episode. So you're in for a big ride on the podcast this week. But before we get to all of the headlines and all the news and everything that we want to cover, Mikey, is there anything that we don't have prepared for on the rundown that you want to mention? Because I bet you there might be something, but I would believe you if it's not, because it was a crazy week for sports and entertainment news. So what do you got in terms of Costanzo Country?
In terms of Costanzo Country, I mean, no, we were busy with the Easter holiday stuff in our little faces.
Yeah, not to mention it was Easter.
It was Easter, yeah. And that was basically it. That was the weekend, was Easter and getting ready for all the crazy news happening this week.
I know. That's what I'm saying is, like, I want to talk about things that I did this past weekend, but most of it is in the rundown.
Yeah.
So I don't want to, get ahead of myself here.
Yeah. So, I mean, for me, it was literally just looking forward to the draft this week and one of the entertainment stories we have. Yeah,
so we'll get to that. On my end, the only other thing I want to mention was it was my birthday, so thank you guys for wishing me a happy birthday. It was also my cousin Christy's 40th birthday.
Oh, yeah.
So,
the birthdays of April continue.
It is. It is a busy month for my side of the family because it's like everybody has something in April. Yes. So, happy birthday to my cousin Christy. She turned 40, had her party at the Rib House.
Oh, nice.
She had an 80s themed party.
Oh, that's fun.
And I went as a wrestler, so I had my title belt. I had a wig on. I had long black hair.
And what? So, no photographic evidence for us on the podcast?
No, you're gonna have to find my social media channels or something if you want to see it. So I'll leave that as a tease.
Fair enough.
Yeah. That pretty much sums up the weekend because everything that I want to get to is literally in the rundown. I feel like.
Yes.
It's weird. Everything is like conveniently packaged in what we want to talk about.
Yeah. No. Definitely.
So
let's just get to it then.
Yeah, right. I figure let's just not bury the lead. Let's go right into it. First batch of topics revolve around sports, so let's go into the sports sampler.
So you're not good at sports. It's a very small part of life.
Sports. In your face. Ha ha!
That is right. Sports coming at you in your face, and it is a big week. In the week of football, it is the non-playing season, but this is the highlight of the non-playing season, the NFL draft. This is the moment where teams can restock on young talent, cheap young talent. It literally can make or break the upcoming season depending on how well you draft. I would like to believe that I think getting Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean was a huge star power to propel the Eagles this past season.
Yeah,
So,
definitely.
I mean, right there, there's a clear example of just how a good fortunate draft can just change your outlook and how you're going to play for the season. So I know it's kind of like a joke. I know Bill Burr has a clip on how ridiculous the draft is, but it is important if you follow football.
It's very important, and I think the key to the Eagles' victory, like you said, was having a lot of young guys step up and overperform, maybe perform to the levels we expected them to. But you rarely see that many big time contributors that early on. So drafting well is so essential for success in the NFL. So this is
see the Browns.
Yeah, right. Well, we'll get to them shortly because they've got a top 10 pick as expected.
That's right.
But I figure we'll start, since we're already talking a little bit about the Eagles and their draft success, why don't we talk specifically about the Eagles and their draft situation to kick things off.
Oh, yeah, because we are an Eagles-focused podcast here.
Yes, and the big news, of course, is happening before the draft even. The Eagles solidifying one of their key positions on the offensive line, taking one of their needs off the board potentially by extending Pro Bowl center Cam Jurgens to a 4-year, $68 million deal. It's good that they're getting out ahead of it. They're getting it done before the draft, so that way they don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
It's not hanging over their head. Will they or won't they have a center going forward? Done, locked up through 2029. Another big pre-draft thing to keep an eye on, which could come into play in the early, rounds of the draft, is the Eagles still are undecided on what to do with Dallas Goedert.
Oh, yeah.
Our starting tight end.
There are rumors of a trade.
There's rumors that he's on the trade block. He's been injured a little bit the past several years. When he's on the field, very productive.
I don't think he's had a full 16, 17-game season.
I don't think so.
Or if he did, it might have been like his first season.
He plays very tough football, which is great. Downside of that is that he is perpetually injured.
Yeah.
So, what do you think? Do you think it's time to move on from Dallas Goedert? He's been, a good starter for us, but you're right. Going back through his time with the Eagles, he has never played a full season except for his first season where he played 16 games. So I think it's probably time to move on.
I mean, if you're not sure at giving him his next contract, then yeah, you're better off trying to get some value for him. But I think it's also going to matter where the Eagles fall in the draft to see if a top tight end falls to them.
Yeah,
it's a lot easier to swallow that pill if you've got a tight end that you're eyeing that's falling down the draft board that you want to grab up.
Yeah. The problem with that is that knowing the Eagles, they're not targeting tight end in the first round.
Not in the first round, no. But the Eagles have, 4 picks in the fifth?
They have, 4 fifth-round picks, but I don't expect them to keep all those picks.
No, they're going to use that as trade ammo.
Absolutely. Now, I'm seeing some rumors one way or the other that the Eagles have 20 picks in this draft and next year's draft. And there's some people out there that are thinking that they're not going to stay put, that they might, there's 2 schools of thought, use this draft capital to jump up and get another big-time player and continue this window, or the classic Howie move, trade down and bulk up even more picks. What do you think?
Yeah, I think with the Eagles being the Super Bowl champions, it's always good to say that when you say that they're the last pick in the first round. There's a reason why. They are the Super Bowl champions.
Uh-huh.
Unfortunately, I think they're too far back to make an exciting move up the draft.
They'd have to give up a lot to move up like a meaningful number of spots.
Right. So I think the logic is going to be a 32nd overall pick is basically a second-round pick anyway. Why not trade down?
I guess the logic is, why collect more picks when you already have 20?
Because you could thrift them either on day 2 or save them for 2026 and really go crazy in 2026.
I mean, you could look for the big reload in 2026.
And I mean, I know on a quarterback level, it just seems like altogether there's not really a lot of hype for this 2025 draft class. There's like a couple of like big hype players, like maybe like 5 or 6, and then it kind of dies off.
Yeah.
I don't sense like a feeling that this is going to be a good draft class.
Yeah. I mean, the talk has been around Cam Ward.
No first round trades have happened.
Oh.
That is weird. Think
Yeah.
about it. If there was a lot of hype with like big name players that could be elite players,
Right.
you would see a lot of first round trading action.
You'd see more movement.
You've seen 0 as of this recording.
So is this just a down year for the draft? It happens sometimes.
I feel
there's some
like it
draft
might be.
classes. Yeah. I mean, I'm going through the list and thinking about the guys whose names I've heard, and it's been the same 3 guys. It's Cam Ward, top quarterback in the draft. It's Shadur Sanders.
Who's now falling.
Falling. Yeah, he's teetering on the edge of the top 10. And Abdul Carter, the edge from Penn State.
Yep.
Other than those 3 names, it's been relatively quiet, I think.
Yeah. And the
there's the two-way player.
yeah,
Is it
Travis
Hunter?
Yes,
He's
you.
like cornerback and wide receiver, and he's like,
Yeah.
I don't want to play anywhere that won't let me play two-way, and it's
It's like it's the
I-
NFL, buddy.
I don't think you're. Yeah, you may be fine playing two-way in college where you're just steamrolling opponents, but when you get to the NFL, as soon as you get popped in the mouth the first time, you're like, never mind,
Hey, guess what?
I'm sitting out.
You know who that sounds like an ideal player for? That sounds like a Browns player if I ever heard one. Let me half-ass 2 things and not whole-ass one thing.
That would be very Brown. So, like, why get one player when we can get 2 players?
2 half players.
2 half players, right?
Yeah. That's got Cleveland Browns written all over them.
Yeah. Oh, man. But you're right. It is it seems like a less enthusiastic draft class.
Yeah. I'm very surprised there's not been a single trade happening in the first round yet.
Yeah.
That's weird. That's really weird.
My heart wants us to do something crazy and jump up and get a steal, but my brain says that Howie's going to trade down into the second.
Yeah, I agree. It's you're too far back.
Yeah.
But it's because we are Super Bowl champions.
It is.
Haha. Take that.
When the Patriots were in this position, they always traded that pick away.
Yeah.
They used it as, and I'm surprised they haven't traded it for a player yet, because they could do, first round pick for so-and-so. It seems great on paper, but with the 32nd pick, the Patriots always just use that as...
Well, it's basically a second round pick.
Yeah.
Yeah, you basically lose out on a first round pick as the Super Bowl champion.
Right.
So, my gut feeling is they trade down.
So who are you thinking in terms of positional targets or specific player targets?
I definitely have been seeing a lot of hype around Walter Nolan.
Yeah.
That seems like a very good fit, especially if what happened last year happens this year again, where it's constantly offense.
Yeah.
Everybody loves to draft the offensive players. Everybody loves to appease their franchise quarterbacks. Like, hey, got you a guy to protect you. Hey, got you another weapon on the slot. Hey, got you another running back to hand off the ball with.
Well, it is the poster child. The quarterback is the face of the franchise.
So everybody loves to pick an offensive player in the first round.
Yeah.
If that happens, then you might get some value later on picking a defensive player, which I think the Eagles benefited off of last year. I could see that happening again this year.
If we see another crazy streak like that, that's the scenario where I think the Eagles could move up, not a lot, but just enough to get one of their top targets in that like mid-20s range.
Yeah.
I can't imagine.
You want to move ahead of Washington. You know Washington's going to try and take away one of the players the Eagles want.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, if we do see a run on offensive players, because I think the biggest area of need is defense for us again, somehow. Even though we had the best defense, we lost a lot of guys.
Yep.
We lost Darius Slay,
C.J. Gardner-Johnson.
Gardner-Johnson. We lost Avonte Maddox. We lost
Sweat.
Josh Sweat, Milton Williams. I mean, the list just goes on and on with the guys. We're going to be missing, not because of release or trade, but Nakobe Dean is going to be slow coming back from his injury recovery.
Yeah.
So there's just holes everywhere on defense. And I'm sure I'm missing a guy or two in there somewhere. So, again, we're looking at defensive backfield. We're looking at interior or anywhere on the defensive line, really. So a guy like Walter Nolan, who I'm seeing mocked to us a couple of times, I think you're going to have to move up to get him, though. I don't think he's going to be all the way there at 32.
No, I think you're going to have to make some maneuvers.
That's what I've been seeing.
Jump ahead of Washington.
Yeah. Some other names to keep an eye on for safety, Malachi Starks. He's mocked in the mid-20s, but that's also a name that the Eagles have been interested in, as well as safety. Let's see if I can say this one. Nick Emenworry. I'm a worry that he's not going to be there because he's also mocked into the 20s. So if the Eagles want one of these three guys, they're going to have to move up. It's going to require a run on offensive players, and then they can package some of those day 2 and 3 picks to try and move up a handful of spots. If those three guys are gone, they're trading straight back down into the second round. Yeah. And that's where they take their tight end. They're going to take their tight end in the second or third.
Yeah, that'll be a day 2 pick. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I pretty much agree with you on all that. How about going back to more macro headline here?
Yeah.
Do you see any other? Do you have any other gut feeling going into this draft? Because it seems it does seem a little bit weird that there's kind of just no excitement for these quarterbacks. Usually, you see quarterbacks drafted top 10. And you're even seeing now Shedeur Sanders, who's supposed to be the number 2 overall quarterback prospect. He's falling like completely out of the top, in some mock drafts, out of the top 10 completely, which I find hard to believe. Because guess who's down at the bottom 10? You have the New Orleans Saints. They need a quarterback, especially if Derek Carr is really going to miss an extended amount of time in 2025. They need a quarterback. I don't care what anybody says. That instantly suddenly became help. Need quarterback.
Because even if Carr comes back at some point, I don't think it's going to be 100%. And he's getting up there in age, right? He's like 34, 35.
Yeah.
So you
dealing with a shoulder injury.
You need to start thinking about the future. That's what the draft is for. So yes, the Saints should be thinking about quarterback, but it is troubling that the two quarterbacks are just not getting a lot of hype. I mean, even just today I saw the headline. The Titans were like, "Yeah, okay, fine. We'll pick first." It almost seemed like they didn't want it, and then they fielded some offers. They decided, screw it, we'll just stay here.
Yeah.
You know, it seems almost like resignation, the headline, right?
A little bit, yeah.
And I know that the Browns and the Giants were both shopping their picks as well. So nobody wants to pick in the top 3, really.
So Tennessee is pretty much firmly set on Cam Ward. That's pretty much you could almost pencil that in right now. Take a bathroom break, get food ready. You're pretty much good for the first overall pick. It's going to be Cam Ward to the Titans. But then, the Browns and the Giants at 2 and 3 respectively.
Both shopping.
According to ESPN reporting, they're saying they are fielding offers for the number 2 and number 3 overall picks respectively. It is kind of like, going back, I don't know if this is a good draft class. It doesn't seem like there's a lot of thrill, hype, excitement over the top prospects. Teams are fielding calls. Hey, if you're not sold on Abdul or Travis Hunter, trade out. Get more draft capital.
Yeah. Man, part of me thinks that the Browns should just take Shedeur Sanders, but I think his problems are solvable.
The pumping of the ball.
He pumps the ball.
That's the whole thing. Just to explain it,
Yeah.
So apparently the reason why Shedeur Sanders is falling, one of the main gripes, is that apparently looking over his game film, he tends to do a little pump on the ball, I wish I had a football on me now.
So if you can imagine, they pat the ball right before they go into their throwing motion. And people are saying that it clues defenses into when he's going to throw.
He doesn't do a pump fake then.
He can't do a pump fake when you do that because that extra split second, it's going to throw off the timing. The other thing that you see is that because of that, it makes his throwing motion
longer,
time to release longer, like all these little tiny nitty gritty. And I'm thinking that's what a quarterback coach is for. But then again, that's assuming the Browns have one.
That's a good point.
That is a big assumption. I know they're like a professional football team, but search within yourselves, guys.
But are they?
Exactly. So part of me is thinking they should just take Shadur Sanders. They need something, anything. And then the other part of me is like, that's not actually going to help them, though.
No.
So the Browns really are. I truly believe no matter where the Browns draft, they could draft anywhere from 1 to 32. They are going to mess up their pick. They could have the first 5 picks in a row like they're playing franchise mode on Madden, and they would still mess up somehow.
They had Baker Mayfield, and they lost him.
I said years ago, I'd rather have Baker Mayfield than Carson Wentz when Carson Wentz was going through his struggles.
Yep, and you were right.
And the Browns, and they had weapons. They had Mayfield. They had the start of some of those defensive pieces that have become really good. And it's just organizational chaos. So if you're the Giants, whoever the Browns don't take, immediately take that person. It does not matter who it is, immediately take whoever that individual is. Guaranteed superstar.
Yes.
That's what I would, as the Giants, I'm like, I'd like, forget the board. Whoever they don't take that guy.
Yeah. Whoever they said, I'm not taking,
right.
Take that guy.
Yes.
The Giants are in an interesting situation. So they're at number 3 overall. They're probably going to go with best player available.
Right.
But they also have an interesting wrinkle that in the 3rd round, they end up with the first pick in the 3rd round because of like a weird tie and tiebreaker and stuff like that. I've been seeing on a couple of drafts, Mike Mayock is the one leading the charge on this, that the Giants could pick best overall at that position at 3 and then try and move back up in the back of the 1st round by trading like that 2nd round pick and that first 3rd round pick and getting the quarterback at the back end of the draft, whatever quarterback falls down that far. I thought that's a very interesting scenario for the Giants.
You know what's crazy is I feel like the Eagles could agree to that trade. I feel like that's very how we move. I feel like having that first pick in the 3rd round, for some reason, you pack it, you like kind of do that combo where he picks back to back. Last in the second, first in the 3rd, and not having a lot of space between your picks because it makes strategizing your board versus what the other people are doing easier. I feel like that's very Howie Roseman coded, right?
Interesting. I don't know.
I don't know if the Eagles would allow the Giants to jump back up into the 1st.
Yeah.
It is the 32nd. Although the Giants are probably looking to get up higher than the 32nd.
I also don't know if the 3rd... So the 3rd best quarterback is probably Jackson Dart. I don't know if he falls down that far.
But who really needs quarterbacks in the 1st?
Steelers.
Oh, you're still not sold on Rodgers?
He hasn't been signed yet. 5% frenzy. Do you want me to go back into this segment, Mike? I will. Don't you tempt me.
I am so sick of Pittsburgh. Actually, they're mocked right now to take Jackson Dart.
Yeah.
With a name like Dart, he's going to be bad.
Just by the name Dart.
Just by the name Dart. No, come on. Come on.
Dart.
Oh, Dart's throwing darts? No. It's not gonna work out. Listen. You can show me all the tape, all the statistics, whatnot. If it seems too good, it feels like it's scripted, then it is too good. It's not going to work out that way. No announcer's going to be saying Jackson Dart throwing darts. It's not happening. I'm telling you right now, the world doesn't work that way. That's too convenient. That's too cushy. Flop. I'm calling it right now.
All right. 5 years from now, when Jackson Dart wins the Super Bowl, I'm going to replay this.
He's going to be a 3-time Super Bowl champ, multiple-time MVP, the best quarterback to ever.
Tom Brady
just crushes Tom Brady's records, throws for 6,000 yards and 70 touchdowns in a season.
Dart.
This is the Dart.
Yeah.
But
we'll
I guess the Steelers, even if they do get Rodgers, they still need a quarterback for the future because Rodgers isn't that. He's a 1-year rental.
At this rate, I don't know if he's going to even be quarterback. He still hasn't signed the contract.
He really should just retire. And I hate the fact that every football conversation becomes about Rodgers. It's exactly what he needs, smoking whatever he's smoking in his pyramid of darkness.
Yes, the darkness
pyramid
retreat.
Scheme retreat.
I'm in the dark here.
That's actually where he is right now. He's just completely darkness retreat until after the draft.
After the draft, right?
I'm in the dark here.
He's going to force the Steelers to draft somebody he wants them to draft. and then he'll sign with them.
Oh yeah, like this is like a blood oath. This is a draft pick oath.
Like, you pick the guy that I want, or I'm not going to sign with you.
Yeah, man, that wouldn't surprise me because he basically did that with the Jets.
Yes, he did.
Ugh.
The Jets are screwed now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I guess it's. I'm still excited for the draft, but I do feel a lack of excitement around a lot of these prospects.
Yeah, there just really hasn't been a lot of like trading or a lot of like angling or.
It could just be the
Smoke
calm before the
screen.
storm, though.
It could be. Maybe Thursday night is crazy. We don't know.
Because right now, I feel like there's a lot of, kind of like attempted smoke screens, like the Browns and the Giants, like, oh, we don't know what we want to do. We're so wishy-washy. And then as we get closer, as the pressure mounts, you might see a desperate team like the Saints be like, oh, crap, we need a quarterback. Let's, if the Browns really don't like Shedeur Sanders, let's try to leap up and get ahead of, some other teams. You might see that pressure start to build.
Yeah. So, Thursday is going to be interesting as well as the rest of the weekend. But Thursday night is round one. That is the one with the big name players going usually.
Yeah.
On Thursday night, we will find out what happens and we'll give you our reactions to the draft on next week's podcast, and hopefully Howie drafts well and we're happy with what he does.
Yep. I have faith. He's drafted incredibly well the past couple of years, and I'm ready to stay up all night to watch him trade out of that pick.
Yeah. I'm
It's going to be like 11:45 at night, and the Eagles are on the clock, and the Eagles have traded down.
No. The 32nd pick's not going to come till like 12:30.
Oh, my God. I don't understand what's taking them so long, especially like the top 5. Like, if you don't know who you're taking, what are you even doing there?
The first overall draft pick
should take 0 seconds.
Yeah. You've had all off season.
Goodell should walk out there and be like, let the draft commence, and with the
number one overall pick. Yeah. The number one pick should not get 2 minutes or whatever it is.
Guess
10 minutes.
Hypothetically.
Isn't it like 10 minutes a pick?
I think it's 10 in the first, and I think it's 5 after like round 3. I think it's like 10 minutes in round 1 and 2.
Yeah. No.
It like decreases as you go along.
The number one overall pick, you should know right off the bat.
I guess technically the Titans need a chance to field calls.
It's not a surprise.
Well, no, but the day of, maybe there's somebody trying to make a play for a trade.
No. You had
no trades, nothing.
You had all off season to pull off a trade if you wanted to do
That's
so.
true. They could trade today. They could trade tomorrow. They could trade an hour before the draft.
Same way I feel about fantasy football drafts. If you are the first overall draft pick, you should know what player you're picking. You should not need 2 minutes or whatever the hell it is on Yahoo. Get the hell out of here.
It sounds like you have personal beef with with your fantasy football leagues.
What were you doing this whole offseason? It's not like you just get dropped in and it's like, oh, I'm the first overall draft. No, you know.
Now, are you salty because someone took too long or because you haven't gotten the number 1 overall pick?
Oh, no, I would definitely not like to be the first overall.
Oh, you don't want to be.
That sucks, in my opinion, because then you have the first overall pick, but then you don't pick again for...
Because they swap the order, don't
they do a snake.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you go first, and then you go last in the second round, so that's forever.
You kind of want to go in the middle.
Yeah, that's where I usually thrive. Yeah.
We thrive in the middle.
Yeah. So, don't... Yeah, but if you are the number 1 overall, just
make your
do
pick.
it. Come
just
on.
make your pick.
There shouldn't be any hesitation. You should know what you're doing.
You know the Titans are going to go 9 minutes and 59 seconds.
Why?
Ads.
Stop. Stop this.
Stop the madness.
We know who you're picking. It's Cam Ward. Stop. Yeah. Roger Goodell should walk out and be like, draft has started. Cam Ward's number 1.
Boom.
Mic drop.
Done. Easy.
Kiss my ass. That's exactly.
That's what he says verbatim.
Yes. Cam Ward, number 1. Kiss my ass. Bye. Like, that's it.
You got to play the jingle.
Yeah. I don't have the official NFL jingle.
You'd probably get a copyright strike.
Yeah, we don't want that.
But anyway, the draft. Exciting times in football.
Yes. There you go. So, it's funny. You mentioned that the NFL can't be scripted.
Yes.
Well,
or so they say.
That's right. Well, there is something that can be scripted, and that is one of my favorite topics, and that is professional wrestling.
My God! What the hell's going on tonight?
Yeah, have to talk about some wrestling news.
I'm the president of the company. If I want to stand out here naked, I'll do it. You'll do it. I'm Ric Flair. I'm the president. I am Ric Flair, the president of the United States. No. Somebody speak up here.
I just love his hype man. He'll do it.
He'll do it. Yeah.
So did he do it?
No.
Oh,
As a
man.
matter of fact, we'll get into it. Ric Flair is no longer the man. We'll get into that in just a minute. But I want to mention WrestleMania 41 happened this weekend. I don't know why they timed it on Easter. That was weird. They really should not have done that.
That is odd.
Yeah, I mean, I would imagine a lot of people with families don't have time to watch WrestleMania
Yeah.
on Easter weekend when they're
Yeah.
trying to be with their families and stuff. Like,
Yeah, I
their
don't-
extended family, you know, like,
Maybe they get together and they watch wrestling. Maybe that's their thing.
yeah, choose another weekend. Just FYI, next year, choose a better weekend. But some things I want to update you guys on. We talked about Randy Orton for a little bit because his WrestleMania opponent, Kevin Owens, had that sudden neck injury.
Yeah.
And ruined his chances of competing at WrestleMania, which definitely feels bad for him. We don't know. It really could be the end of his career. We don't know if he's going to be able to come back and what shape he'll be back in. So, we'll definitely keep an eye on how he progresses on his injury. But Randy Orton, on the other hand of the WrestleMania matchup, he was left without an opponent, and he's like an A-plus star. This is like, he needs to have somebody. This is WrestleMania, and he's also getting old, too. He doesn't have many WrestleManias in him left as well. And they decided to pair him against Joe Hendry, who's been a social media darling coming up through the TNA system. We talked about that as well, that WWE bought, or not bought, but they now have a strategic partnership with TNA, so they're allowed to pluck wrestlers from TNA.
It's like a minor league for them.
Yes, a developmental league, and they were able to just pluck them out. And yeah, it's funny. I've showed you the one clip when he entered the Royal Rumble. It's amazing that WWE has not done any direct promotion for Joe Hendry, but when he enters a WWE ring, everybody goes crazy. You would think he's on the WWE roster.
Yeah.
And again, it happened here at WrestleMania when he was announced as the new opponent for Randy Orton, and he did his signature life coach moment thing with his smile and the inspirational music.
Is he the one with the music video?
Yeah.
Or am I okay.
Yeah, he's that
I
one.
I thought this all sounded familiar.
Yeah. Playing an electric guitar without electricity.
Yes.
It's that guy. Yeah,
Right.
Joe Hendry. He had some funny moments, but Randy Orton did put him out in like 5 minutes. Because Randy Orton is supposed to be A-plus wrestler here.
Right.
So they had him do a couple RKOs and end the match. But it was good to see Joe Hendry come up through the ranks, and now he has an official WrestleMania match underneath his belt, which is a crazy sentence for me to say if you thought about this like 2 years ago when TNA and WWE were separate entities. It's like, what you can't have somebody who signed onto another company appear at WrestleMania, which is WWE property. It's crazy. But this is 2025. This is how it is now.
Yeah, WWE gets whatever they want, and now they've got this guy positioned to just ascend through the ranks now.
Yep. We'll come back to Randy Orton in just a bit. But the main event for WrestleMania 41 was evil John Cena taking on Cody Rhodes. And this has been a very well-hyped build-up to this match. I mean, it's something we haven't seen in 25 years, an evil John Cena, which has been interesting.
It's quite the plot twist for him.
Yep, going up against Cody Rhodes, who still had the title from last year's WrestleMania. Well, they had John Cena defeat him, and that is huge because that officially is John Cena's 17th world title that is recognized by WWE, and that puts him for the most all-time, putting him ahead of Ric Flair.
You represent what I detest. You're a punk walking in the back door with your hand open, looking for a free lick.
Yeah, I'm sure Ric Flair felt that way because he's now no longer the number one.
Nope, he's not. He's number 2 now. So But what a major accomplishment for John Cena. I mean, he's a name that I think everybody recognizes, whether you're a wrestling fan or not. Just me who only hears about it through you telling me about stuff on the podcast. Like, even I knew about John Cena, years and years ago.
Yeah, I mean, now he's followed The Rock's path. He does movies now. He's
a funny dude.
Yeah, he does comedy. He does action movies. He was in DC movies. So yeah, I mean, he's now branched out and he's now more of a household name than ever before. But going back to his roots on this farewell tour and winning and breaking the record with the 17th world title recognized by WWE, a big moment in wrestling history. But then we also have the Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania, and it's funny. I think some people forget about it. But the Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania is sometimes almost just as important as WrestleMania because, that's like the first show of the wrestling new year. Right. WrestleMania typically kind of ends the wrestling year.
Season.
Ends the wrestling year in WWE. So this first Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania is like the aftershocks and setting up like what is going to be the rest of the year for the wrestlers that are still wrestling and the champions that have been crowned. What does the rest of their year look like? That usually happens on the Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania. And John Cena had to come out. He's now the WWE champion once again. And he made this interesting proclamation that he only has something like 27 appearances left with WWE. And he says that if this farewell tour, if he ends this farewell tour as the WWE champion still on his possession, he will take the title home and refuse to give it back to WWE.
So, I mean, that's something that is legitimate, right? Like, somebody could leave with the title belt. Didn't you say that there was a risk of that happening before?
Oh yeah, that was the Montreal screw job. Yeah, that was because
they have to be challenged for it.
That was real. That actually happened behind the scenes. They were worried that Bret Hart could actually leave with the WWE title and go to WCW with the title, which would have been preposterous.
Right.
And that was the fuel that led to the Montreal screw job, which I could get into for a whole hour if you wanted me to get into it. But this is for the storyline purposes. This is not actually a real. This is not.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they're not going to let him leave with it. That'd be insane. Or
and just go home.
Or just go home.
I'm taking my title belt and going home. Yeah, no, that's not actually happening. But it's for the purposes of the storyline.
Yeah,
it
adds some stakes to the situation.
Yes. So as he was explaining his evil master plan, like a villain does,
he's just monologuing.
Yep. He was in the ring just like talking like what the plan's going to be. Yeah. Randy Orton comes back and hits him with the RKO and holds the title belt and looks at it very joyfully. And it looks like WWE's going to run with an Orton versus Cena one more time match because they faced each other multiple times for the WWE Championship. Matter of fact, they were in a unification title match when John Cena was the World Heavyweight Champion and Randy Orton was the WWE Champion. They had a title unification match together, which Randy Orton won. So they have big history in big matches together. I think that's a great move to make the next step of this story on.
Yeah, give the fans what they want, give them the super A-listers, give them the household names. Why not? Like you said, they can script it, so do it.
Yep. So it looks like that is going to be the next step on this farewell tour with John Cena, and we'll see where it goes from there. But it was very interesting with WrestleMania. Those were the big headlines. I mean, there were other, there's 14 other matches on the card. It's crazy.
It's a lot of matches.
They split in the 2 days now. It literally is the whole weekend now. It's crazy.
I mean, that's good for wrestling fans.
Oh yeah, it's a lot to cover. So we can't cover every single wrestling match. I know CM Punk had a big match. I would love to talk about that, but for the purposes of this show, I have to end it there with the John Cena stuff. That's really what I wanted to get to on what I wanted to cover. So big weekend in the wrestling world, and not a storyline to just walk away from either, because We'll have to see if John Cena actually hangs around with the WWE title, and will he take it home? I'm going to take my title belt and go home.
Take it home. Going to run home.
Yeah, take that. So we shall see. But all right, that is all the sports news that we have for you right now. We're going to take a little bit of a break, but don't go anywhere because we still got the entertainment entree. We've got a big TV show that we've got to talk about and process and have therapy on. If you need therapy, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. This is the Crispy Noodle Podcast.
Ready for the weekend? Happy Friday. Hi, my name's Marie, and I'm an artist who's been making Happy Friday doodles every week for over 7 years. And now you can own my art collection in this Volume 1 and Volume 2 art series. These doodles span across multiple themes, yearly festivities, various countries, languages, and more. Both coffee table books have something for everyone and are the perfect conversation starter or gift for a friend. Really, anyone who enjoys a good weekend. Available on Amazon, Ingram, BookBaby, Barnes & Noble, and more. Visit happyfridaydoodles.com/books and get your copies today. Let's celebrate the best day of the week. Happy Friday.
On June 7th, 4 best friends and a bunch of their friends will pile into a TV studio in Philadelphia with buzzers, microphones, lights, and trivia to recreate 24 of their favorite game shows, streaming online, live and uncensored. It's the 12th annual 24-hour game show marathon, raising $10,000 for Child's Play, a nonprofit dedicated to supporting children's hospitals around the world through the power of play. To learn more or to donate towards the $10,000 goal, go to GameShowMarathon.com.
You just assured me that I could speak.
Sit down inside the car. We're not assuring anything. We're under arrest.
Look, I'm under what?
Come on.
Gentlemen, this is Democracy Manifest. Have a look at the headlock here. See that chap over there? Get your hand off my penis! This is the bloke who got me on the penis before.
Get some cups.
Why did you do this to me?
Hop in the car. Get some cups.
For what reason? What is the charge? Eating a meal? A succulent Chinese meal? Oh, that's a nice headlock, sir. Oh, yes. I see that you know your judo well. Good one. And you, sir, are you waiting to receive my limp penis? How dare get your hands off there.
No, we've only got one cup.
Ta-ta and farewell.
It's all right, just get him in the car.
One cup, look.
Oh, yeah, we're back here on the Crispy Noodle Podcast. All right, we are done. The world of sports, NFL draft this week. Make sure you keep an eye on that. WrestleMania is done in the books. We are going to get to a TV shocker in just a minute. But before we do, we need to do a couple segments. So let's officially launch into the second part of our show, the entertainment entree.
And now, the latest in movies.
The Simpson guy writes to movies. Dear Die Hard, you rock. Especially when that guy was on the roof.
Music.
I know what that is. That's music.
Video games.
I'm Commander Shepard, and this is my favorite store on the Citadel.
Celebrities.
You really know Warren Beatty? Yes, I do. I took a leak next to him once at the Golden Globes.
And more.
Who are the all-singing, all-dancing crap of the world?
This is the entertainment entree.
All right, we are officially in entertainment entree territory, and we're going to kick it off with a segment where Mike is going to let you know what you should keep an eye out for this upcoming weekend with any new movies, TV, and video game properties. It's time for Mike's This Week in Entertainment. All right, Mikey, what do you got for the people at home?
All right, well, first up, in theaters Until Dawn is coming to movie theaters this week. Based on the video game by the same name, the movie makes some key changes to the story. In this version, a group of teens are trapped in a house where the night resets every night, inflicting new horrors on them. They all start getting killed off every night, so they must find a way to survive until dawn in order to escape. Yeah. Joking aside, I'm excited to see how it ends up. It is an R-rated horror film, so I don't think it's going to be pulling any punches. Still, though, it does kind of have that generic horror movie vibe, so I'm not expecting, any kind of groundbreaking cinematography and, film, auteurness here. But you never know.
Yeah.
But if that doesn't get you going, how about Bears on a Ship?
Ah! Oh, no!
As the title implies, there will be bears on ships. Ah! In television.
That's all you got.
That's all I got. I literally saw the title. I was like, I don't need to know anymore. In television. Sold. Exactly, right? In television, the NFL draft is all weekend, so check that out. But if you're not watching that, make sure to check out Andor Season 2 coming to Disney Plus this week. The show has been one of the bright spots for Disney Star Wars universe post-sequel trilogy. The second season continues the quality and success, with the show receiving an outstanding 94 out of 100 on Metacritic. And unfortunately, I've not been keeping up with it, but Rich, I believe you have been. Are you excited for Season 2?
Yes and no. I don't know.
I think you're the one person. It's been getting rave reviews.
I mean, if Season 1 is an indicator of how well Season 2 will be, then it's going to be very good. But I just don't know how much more we can mine off of the Rebel Alliance in its early heyday,
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm treading lightly. I'm keeping my expectations in check.
No, fully agree. I think that era of Star Wars is bloated, and I think that we need to explore different stories in the Star Wars universe. But I digress.
Yeah, but also other people disagree with you.
Yes, I know. In the world of video games, The Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remastered surprise launched right now, this week on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, and PC. This is a remake of the RPG, or remaster of the RPG, I guess. It's a little fuzzy, but this RPG is what put Bethesda and the Elder Scrolls series really on the map and made them the juggernaut they are today. This remaster updates the graphics, it updates the sound, it adds unique voice acting, it is changing some of the game systems and mechanics, making it more user-friendly, making it more modernized, but it still promises that immense, sprawling open-world fantasy that made it such a huge success. And as the developers put it, it will still have some of those Bethesda RPG quirks. So expect bugs and glitches and some oddities, but overall a fantastic game. So go check out The Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remastered on all major consoles this week. And that wraps it up for This Week in Entertainment.
All right, Mikey, thank you for that segment, This Week in Entertainment. All right, we need to start therapy now. If you are a fan of TV shows, you had to have been watching The Last of Us, and boy, what an episode to put out on Easter Sunday.
Yeah.
So let's officially warn everybody.
Yes.
We have to do spoilers. There's no way about it. So this is you better have watched The Last of Us, and you're at least up to season 2, episode 2. It is official spoiler.
It's a spoiler! Woo! It's a spoiler! Don't listen! Go away!
I love that sound.
I know.
All right.
Oh,
so
boy.
here we are. We have officially made it to the moment that we have been dreading.
Yeah.
The end.
It was the episode.
Yeah, there was a lot happening, but the big swing heard round the Last of Us world happened, and so now everybody's aware of it. Video game audiences, TV audiences now. You all know what happens. Joel. I have a friend named Joel. Yeah, I keep thinking of him. Joel is kaput.
Yes. This was as soon as the announcement was made that they were making a TV show of this video game series. I think that for a lot of video game fans, this was the big question mark looming large over everything.
Yeah,
because,
how would they do this?
Yeah, it's not often where the main character gets offed in the first 2 episodes of the second season of a planned 3-season run.
Yeah.
Game fans knew that it was going to happen. They know how the game handles it, but I think it's still tough for TV audiences.
Oh, yeah.
I watched the episode with my younger cousin, and she was outraged. She's like, what the hell? What's going to happen? He's the main character. And I feel like a lot of TV audiences are feeling that way right now. You know, we have the benefit of 20/20 hindsight. We know how things shake out, but it's definitely a shocking, tough episode for everyone. And even for us that know what was about to happen. I don't know about you, but that episode, man, that was a tough scene.
Yeah.
That was a tough final few minutes.
Yep.
How did you feel?
I mean, yeah, you knew it was coming as someone who played the games. You knew the scene. The moment you saw Joel save why can you say Joel? The moment you see Joel save Abby, you were like, "Oh no, they're going to stick with it." They're doubling down on it. Yep. It's happening. I was watching it with Rachel, and Rachel was sobbing. She did not like this at all.
Was she familiar with the game?
No.
Oh,
man. No, I played the game. She didn't.
Okay.
So, yeah, she was not a happy camper
Yeah.
When Joel died.
It's also a brutal scene.
Yeah, though I got to admit, I think they toned it down a little bit on the TV end.
Really?
I remember the video game I thought was a little more graphic because, like, she, like, goes to town with that golf club. Or am I just reimagining it?
I don't know. I need to go back and watch the game footage.
Yeah, I could have sworn she, like, gets, like, some good whacks in there with the golf club. Whereas on the TV show, she just, like, only breaks the handle and just...
Yeah. And
you only see punches. Yeah, you don't really see, like...
She just attacks the leg on camera with the golf club. But I'm pretty sure in the game she wails on him. Yeah.
So I think it might, in terms of violence, I think it actually was toned down a little bit.
Man. But, I mean, still, it was a tough scene. I mean, the acting from Bella Ramsey, and Pedro Pascal, absolutely
how about
chilling.
From Abby, too?
Caitlin Dever,
yeah, I thought she did a good job. I'm really surprised people are not giving her a fair shake in the role of Abby.
They don't like her?
Yeah.
Really?
I think she's been doing a pretty good job with...
Last of Us fans confused me so much. They didn't like Abby in the games because she was too masculine.
Yeah.
And they don't like Abby in the TV show because she's not masculine enough. It's like, what do you want?
Can't win.
Yeah. But I thought all 3 of them did a fantastic... And even the supporting characters did as well. I mean, we'll come to know all of them more throughout the season, but... just watching their reactions to what Abby was doing was so impactful.
A little twist, though, with Dina being there.
Yeah.
That didn't happen in the video game.
Right. Yeah, I think it was just Joel.
Yeah. So Dina being there now gives Ellie... I imagine she's going to be the one that tells Ellie like who these people are, where they're from, the insignia on their bags.
Right.
There was a deliberate cut that she sees their insignia on the bag.
Yeah, and and very specifically calls it out like, "Who are you guys?" Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, that was one of the changes.
I think that'll be used to tighten the story a little bit better.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just I don't want to avoid future spoilers because I'm trying to keep TV show watchers in mind.
Yeah.
Because we have the benefit of the whole game, but if we're doing current with the TV show, we don't want to go
All
too
right,
far in advance.
Then can I go back to something that's you might have drawn a little bit of fire on this.
What, me?
Yeah.
Why? What'd I do?
So on last week's episode, you said something to the tune of Joel is not a good guy. Something to that effect.
Yeah.
You have been challenged.
Oh, I have been.
Yes, because the subreddit for the Last of Us TV show subreddit, they are furious. They are defending Joel hook, line, and sinker.
Right.
Their primary argument, which I found very interesting, is that they're saying that Abby is worse because of the fact that she drew out Joel's death.
Okay.
That Joel, even though while he was wrong to kill, what did she say, 16 guys, and the dad in cold blood,
right?
That it was all like
quick and
painless shots to the head or something. Whereas Abby is doing a long, torturous death for Joel. What do you have any? I'm telling you, Mike, this was actually like a top comment on like the Last of Us subreddit that people were getting behind this, that it wasn't like a true eye for an eye.
Yeah.
Reciprocal vengeance.
Well, see, that's the crazy thing about vengeance is it's never eye for an eye, right? I think that's one of the key themes of the story is that when you seek out vengeance, you lose part of yourself. I just happened to watch recently, a TikTok about Harry Potter and the killing curse, right? About how every time you use the killing curse, you, as they put it, you hurt your heart and it becomes easier to commit more acts of violence, of aggression, of whatever. So vengeance is not a steady curve. It's an exponential increase, right? That's just the way vengeance works. Because as we know, we're going to watch. You know how the game plays out, and you know how now the next act of vengeance takes it even further.
Yes.
You know what I'm referring to. So I feel like I agree that what Abby did was worse, but I also say that it also makes perfect sense. We can't look at these things in a vacuum and compare these two acts as apples to apples. It's not the same thing. Joel did a horrible thing. He brought consequences on himself. These are the consequences of his actions. And now Abby's actions also have consequences. And they will grow exponentially as we head throughout the season. So to say Abby is worse than Joel, I struggle to make that comparison because they're two completely different, unique situations. And furthermore, it's really weird to be like, oh, well, two wrongs don't make a right, and this wrong was so much worse than the other wrong. When you start saying which wrong is worse, I think it's automatically a losing battle, because what Joel did was wrong and what Abby did was wrong. It doesn't matter whose wrong was worse. They both enacted horrific things on the other person.
Uh-huh.
Right?
Yeah.
So, yes, she drew out the torture. And
how about the fact that Joel was trying to save his pseudo daughter? Does that have any sort of forgiveness or any sort of saving grace in this calculation?
So, obviously, I like Joel because
we all do. Everybody,
we all like Joel. That's not up for debate. What is up for debate is the ethics of it, and that's the great thing of the game and the TV show is it makes you ask the question: how far are you willing to go? What boundaries are you willing to cross?
Apparently, everybody's willing to sacrifice 16 guys and a doctor.
but that's the crazy thing. They're like, whoa, it's his daughter. Okay, so all those guys didn't have families. They were just nameless hobos off the street. no friends, no family. That doctor didn't have a daughter.
Whoops.
It is the myopic lens of looking through the main character, and that is what it's challenging us to do, is to question whether the character we're following is actually the quote-unquote good guy, because narratives train us to think that the person we follow is inherently good because we have been chosen to follow them. But that's not the case. Breaking Bad, Wolf of Wall Street, Succession, these are not good people. They don't have to be good people. And it always boggles my mind. We're like, whoa, they're the main character. That's not up for debate. I get that. Believe me, I get that. But it doesn't mean that they have to be good. But also, even if they're bad, it doesn't mean that we automatically condemn them as the next Hitler. There's gray there, and I just want people to challenge their expectations and think about those ethical gray areas. I'm not saying let's tar and feather and drag Joel through the streets, but let's also acknowledge that he was kind of monstrous in the things that he did. What about the numerous torture scenes from the first season?
Right? Yeah. If your buddy doesn't point to the same location on the map, you're getting a bullet in the eye or something.
He kills him anyway, doesn't he?
Yeah, he still kills him, yeah.
And you want to talk about torture? He gut shot Marlene. She's bleeding out. She goes, please, begging for her life. Kills her anyway. So you can't sit there and be like, oh, he's so great. And let me say this. This is my mic drop moment. If you are so certain that what he did was righteous and correct, why did he lie to Ellie? And why did he keep that lie for 5 years? If you feel you're right about something, Rich, do you perpetuate a lie for 5 years?
Yeah, you would be stubbornly brazen about it, I would think.
Would he be brought to tears in a therapy session because it's literally eating him alive and poisoning his relationship with his daughter?
Good.
If what he did...
You need to come on to these subreddits and you need to challenge these people.
I can't stand it. I can't stand it because I've been dealing with this rhetoric for 12 years after playing the first game. I don't want to get too crazy on it, but I love Joel, love the story, love Ellie. These are my people. Obviously, I was heartbroken, brought close to tears with watching that scene in the second episode, but we still, I think, owe it to ourselves and to the story to do our due diligence and really consider the ethical gray area, the ethical quandaries of this post-apocalyptic world. And we have to search ourselves and understand what our own scales of justice are, but realize that other people's scales of justice are different. And that Joel murdering a young girl's father is going to have consequences. It's not something you just ride off into the sunset and be like, yeehaw, buckaroo.
Why not?
That doesn't happen.
There's America. This is what I want to see on my show.
I feel like some people think that he's just going to ride off like Bonanza into the sunset.
Well, he rode off all right.
Oh, he did.
In a body bag.
Yes, he did. Oh, man. But also, how about Ashley Johnson singing that song?
Yeah.
That was what got... As soon as that started playing, I was like, you son of a bitch.
That was a perfect capper to end that episode.
It really was. I mean, just twisting the knife.
Yeah.
But an absolutely stunning episode. I just want to move away from Joel for a second to talk about the other big moment, which was the siege of Jackson.
Yeah, that was interesting. That happened at the same time.
That happened at the same time. That did not happen in the game, did it?
I don't think so. I don't think that was the same time.
No, I don't think so. I was not expecting both of those things to happen in one episode. I was like, that's too much for one episode. But
nope, not for this show.
I think.
And by the way,
I think they handled it.
Speaking of Succession, Mark Mylod was the one directing this episode. How do you like that?
I don't know who that is. I assume he's the Succession director.
Yeah, he's the main director behind Succession.
Well.
And The Menu. He did directed The Menu, too.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's a good movie.
Yeah. So.
But yeah, absolutely fantastic.
It's funny.
Episode.
He said in an interview, he's like, why does HBO keep calling me to kill off characters?
Let's see. We need somebody to kill off a fan favorite. I know.
Yep. Call Mark.
Call Mark.
Get him on the line.
Mark, we need you to butcher somebody the fans hold near and dear.
Yeah.
He's like, I got you.
Get him on the horn.
Yeah. I mean, just absolutely. I cannot wait to see where this all goes. I mean, obviously I know where it goes, but to see it brought to life
Do you have any concerns, though? And so this is my worry. In terms of a TV show, I have a feeling that this has a chance to lose viewership because a lot of people identified with Joel. A lot of people loved Joel's story. Now he's gone.
Right.
Do you think there could be a chance that the audience level has peaked and that now it's going to take a hit?
No, I'm not concerned because HBO's one of their other biggest show, Game of Thrones, was notorious for this. And after each one, the craziness around it brought in more viewers. This was a red wedding moment.
Yeah.
Where this is all the talk, and people are going to start watching because they want to know what the heck are people going on about? Why is it so shocking? You know, you'll never watch Game of Thrones, so it doesn't matter. But they kill off like half the main characters in one episode.
Yeah, Red Wedding, yeah.
And, you know, the first time that I watched Game of Thrones, there were multiple times where I'm like, oh, this guy, the main character, he's awesome. And then the next episode, dead. I'm like, okay, that's weird. I'm like, huh. You know, I'm looking through the Wikipedia. That's weird. It says this guy has only been in 3 seasons, but we're currently on season 4. Dead. Like, main characters just getting killed off left and right. Nobody is safe. This is the same thing in this show. I think it's only going to bolster it, actually.
All right. Well, there you go. That is our take on Last of Us Season 2, Episode 2. A very shocking moment. A lot of people needed therapy. A lot of people went online, did not like it.
Yeah.
But for those...
People have been angry about this for 5 years, though.
Yeah.
I mean, remember before the game...
This is not new territory for us gamers.
No. In 2020, they were like, I'm not playing after that happens. You know, I'm like, what? Like... Why can't you just experience the story? I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm the one who's messed up in the head.
I don't know. We'll find out. I'm very interested. I'm going to be very interested to see what the final viewer total is going to be for the rest of the season.
Yeah,
because
HBO has weathered this with Game of Thrones before.
Yeah,
intentionally so. So we'll see. Never this early in a season, mind you.
No,
but anyway.
Yeah.
Oh boy, that was the episode.
Yes, it was.
I think I would like something lighthearted.
Yeah, that's a good
come
call.
off of that. What do you think?
Yeah, so let's jump into the third and final portion of our show, the non-fortune cookie odd news.
We've been talking about cool and its ramifications and how it applies to the hip scene. But maybe you could give us some examples now of the opposite of cool, uncool. Just exactly what is uncool?
My nipples look like milk duds.
Holy shnikes.
It's time for the non-fortune cookie odd news.
It's not of this world. I don't know exactly what it is or what it's doing, but this is not human intelligence, okay? It's not human intelligence we're facing!
How you doing? Me? I'm doing great.
Manda bastards. I don't make this stuff up.
I'll take a pound of nuts.
That's a lot of nuts! That'll be $4, baby! You want fries with that?
I seen the celery dance across the baseball fields.
You had me at Meat Tornado.
No, go past this. Past this part. In fact, never play this again.
Okay. What does that mean?
And now it's time for the non-fortune cookie odd news.
So sit back, get everything you need to get from the kitchen. Be sure and empty the bladders. Go to the bathroom because you're in for a hell of a ride.
Odd news.
That's right, everyone. It's time for the non-fortune cookie odd news. Here in this segment, Rich researches the news, he reads the news, and I react to the news. He finds a weird and wacky story and keeps it hidden from me, which ensures that all of my reactions are my genuine gut reactions to hearing this story for the very first time. I don't know what's about to happen. You guys don't know what's about to happen. And even Rich doesn't know what's about to happen because these stories always take us down wacky and wild paths. And I'm ready to get started. Where are we heading to?
All right, this story going to upstate New York.
Oh, New York, New York.
Yeah, well, not New York City. This is upstate New York.
It's upstate New York.
Yeah.
Damn, there's
the
no
rest of the state.
There's no song about that, though. I was thinking New York, New York.
Upstate New York.
It's a hell of a forest.
Farm. We got farms.
Farm. It's a farm.
Right,
Forest.
farms.
Something like that.
things to see include farms.
It's scary up there.
It's scary up here. See our farms and have a fright. You know it is right. Come on up to upstate New York.
Come on up to upstate
New
York.
Woo.
So,
all right.
What's happening in the lonely ruralness of upstate New York?
All right. So first off, I gotta just mention something. This is like the serious part of the story, but it will lead to the odd news portion of the story here.
Oh boy.
So New York State Police had to investigate a man, 37-year-old Christopher Banks, who they were suspected of child pornography. So,
not good.
Right. So when you get an order like that, you're allowed to arrest, go through all of his digital equipment, hook, line, and sinker. I mean, that's a serious charge. They got to go through everything.
Oh, yeah.
And they did find child pornography, so he will be prosecuted and, to the full extent of the law, he's going to be in jail for a long time. But while they were probing his digital archives, they found a very startling video.
Oh, no.
Yep. They found a video of his brother, 38-year-old Mark Banks, in which he was, this is as described in the police report, quote, committing a sexual act on a dairy cow on the property of Windsor Acres.
Well, it was very erotic. Yes, indeed. It was erotic.
And why was it at this farm? Mark Banks works there. Oh, man. Yeah, that boy. I've always loved that little cow. Oh,
You're not supposed to have office romances.
Well, it was very erotic. Yes, indeed. It was erotic.
Oh, yeah. Just that cow, man. Moo!
Moo! Moo!
Moo! Oh, yeah.
Oh, my balls.
But is it not gross, though?
Oh, yeah.
You're just like, oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. This is definitely as gross as you think it is.
I mean, it's an animal.
Yeah.
Like, all they do is wallow around in their own filth all day. They oh, God.
Oh, yeah. So according to the video, he is naked with the dairy cow. I just want to know why his brother has the video of him. Like, what?
That is so... this is so gross on so many levels. But also, is that cow...
There was a bit of a nastiness last night, yes? Some very extreme nastiness, yes? Yes.
I'm surprised the cow didn't kick him into oblivion, right?
Yeah, right?
Like, cows are big animals, no?
Maybe the cow liked it. I don't know.
Oh, Rich.
I don't know. You're right. Why didn't the cow like...
Moo.
At least buy me dinner first. Ooh.
Take you out for steak. Oh.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
So they ordered Mark Banks to come down to the state police office.
They just play him the video. He goes, yeah, I'm guilty.
Well, in a statement that he had to give to the police, and this is in the police report, he describes what he did.
Oh, boy.
He says that I acted out of my own free will, and yes, when I was younger, I had sex with a cow.
Well, it was very erotic. Yes, indeed. It was erotic.
That's so stupid.
He goes on further to say that I did not ejaculate on the cow.
Oh, thank God. Oh, what a relief.
Not a finger.
Oh, I'm glad he cleared that one up.
But I used the bucket to relieve myself.
That's what my brain is doing internally right now, is just screaming.
That's actually audio. He said this is hot.
Yeah, that is what he was actually screaming.
That was the audio, yeah.
During the moment. He used the bucket.
Oh, and then
I assume he means the milking pail thing?
Yes.
Okay.
So I don't know. Is he trying to like lessen this? Like, it happened when I was younger. We all did strange stuff when we were younger.
Boys will be boys, and also I used the bucket.
Yeah. Number 2, I used the bucket. I didn't.
What else are you gonna say? Oh, don't worry, I use protection.
And then number 3, he said this did not happen ever again. This was a one-time thing.
Oh yeah, everybody has their one-night stand with a bovine. Obviously.
Yes.
Boys will be boys, and boys will do bovine. Like,
bovine will be bovine.
Bovine will be bovine. Oh,
Boy,
man.
New way to bring to a new definition to bring to the term cow tipping.
Just the tipping.
Yeah.
So
this is all in the police report too, by the way. This is why he literally gave this statement to the cops.
Like, he knew that he couldn't get out of it.
Yeah, so I guess he tried to lessen it.
He's like, the only way to make this better is to try and give the reasonable doubt. Like, I was young and stupid and foolish and
I was young and horny.
Young and horny, right? And I didn't ejaculate in the cow. I used the bucket, so there's no cow-human hybrid babies.
Yeah. It's not like I knocked her up.
Right, I was practicing safe sex with my cow. And it was just it didn't mean anything.
Yeah.
It was just a one-night thing.
This cannot be made good. It's shameful. It's a shameful, shameful day.
So
no, honey, I swear it meant nothing to me. That's what it sounds like.
How about the fact that he worked at this farm? Like, isn't that a little weird too? Like,
this is a chicken and egg situation.
Mr. Johnson, I got to stay after hours. I got.
Boy, that bank's really putting in the hours.
Betsy needs a lot of work tonight. I need to go tend to her.
I didn't quite finish milking Betsy. I better go milk her.
Lots of milking done tonight.
Lots of milking done. Right into the bucket. It's a chicken and egg situation, though, because did he get the job? Then he's like, oh, cows. Or did he go, oh, cows, let me get the job.
This is my chance.
This is my chance, right? They're hiring. Now's my chance. 1, for gainful employment. 2, for weird animal sex.
Yeah.
Like, what do you think happened first? How long was he employed there before he started?
Says he was there for 22 years. So I'm going to go with it happened over time. I don't think you would do that day one.
I also don't think he did it just once.
Yeah, I have a weird feeling that that's not true.
I feel like it's a matter of escalation. He probably was like, I could. And then maybe he's like, experiments, and then he's like, no, I'm just going to...
Lest we forget, his brother is video recording him.
Right. That doesn't happen accidentally. His brother's like, and here's the milking station, and here's the, oh, God, Mark, what are you doing? And here's where we feed them. It wasn't an accident.
Yeah, right.
He's not like giving people a tour, and then all of a sudden, oh, there's my brother having sex with a cow. Whoops.
I'm just going to keep it on my hard drive for safekeeping.
Yeah, right.
With my child porn.
Right.
Like, well, yeah, what the hell?
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Absolutely wild. Yeah.
Yep.
I got nothing.
Yeah. So that statement goes in the police report because this is what he tried to do to try and, I guess, reason with the cops. He tried to make it seem like it wasn't a big deal.
Yeah, I'm sure that worked well.
Yeah, good luck with that. This will fall under a Class A misdemeanor in which he could face up to a 1-year jail term for what happened. And he will have to register in the future as a sex offender. So this will stay on his record.
All that for sex with a cow? Like, that's the grossest thing.
Yeah.
Like, animals are so dirty.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to get so many, the number of diseases.
Something just came over me, and I took my clothes off.
Oh, good for you.
Oh yeah. So maybe that made it hotter for him.
Maybe. I don't know. All I know is you're not supposed to have office relationships.
Yeah, that's not
So,
good.
No workplace romance.
Yeah. Was he listening to some Doja Cat? Maybe was that turning him on? Because she did the "Bitch I'm a Cow" song.
What?
Yeah.
None of those words made any sense to me.
Yes, there's a singer-songwriter named Doja Cat, and one of her hit songs is "Bitch I'm a Cow, Bitch I'm a Cow, I go moo," and it was a viral song.
Those are the lyrics.
Yes.
Right. And that's what the kids listen to.
This is where we're at in society. Bitch I'm a cow.
Okay.
Bitch I'm a cow.
So I
go moo.
I had my hopes set way too high.
Yes.
Oh no.
He was just listening to that on repeat as like,
right. And he's like, "Oh yeah,
oh, yeah.
ooh.
Oh, I am a cow. I go moo."
Is this him psyching himself up? Yeah, I'm the cow. I go moo. I'm gonna moo all over you.
That's his hype up. Yeah,
that's his hype up.
He has the ear.
He's got to psych himself up for what he's about to do.
He has the AirPods in. He's just listening to that over and over at work for 27 years or whatever.
I'm a cow.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a cow.
You're gonna get it, Betsy.
I'll be your bull.
But not on you. It'll be safer. It'll go in the bucket.
It'll go in the bucket. It'll go in the bucket.
Don't worry.
Honestly, though, does that not make it worse? Because they milk into those buckets.
You better clean those buckets, you bastards.
Did they recall all of that milk? Like, how many batches of milk did they put out with?
Also, how old's the file? Because the guy said this was when I was young. Remember? Oh, I was young.
Oh, no.
Oh, this happened when I was young.
Right. And only that one time.
We all did silly things when we were young, right?
Hasn't everybody had sex with a cow? Come on, officer. I'm sure you've done it before.
Well, with you, it would be a pig.
Oh.
There you go.
Oink, oink.
Yeah,
old McDonald.
Cop joke.
Anyway.
Yeah, so there you go. That's what I
Wow.
have for you this week in the non-fortune cookie odd news.
Cow sex. You never know what you're going to get.
Yeah. I just love the fact he tried to, like,
He
minimize it.
He tried to lighten it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, obviously he knows he's caught.
Yeah,
He's
they have the
on
video.
He's on camera just mooing away. So you're not going to get out of
Why
it.
is his brother keeping the footage? Why do we keep forgetting that? His brother. Why does his brother have the footage of that? Was he using it for like blackmail? Like, I always have that. I have it on.
I think he was using it for personal reasons.
Oh, I hope no. That's even more disgusting.
I mean, the guy did have kiddie porn.
Yeah.
So.
But do you think he's a little with like White Lotus, like brother action? Like, ooh.
I think that the first guy from the story is
a
just
bro job, if you will.
It's just a bro job.
Spoiler for White Lotus. Sorry if you didn't see that.
White Lotus season 3. There was that whole family.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that the first guy in the story was just an all of the above kind of person.
Uh-huh.
He's got kids, animals, siblings. I'm sure he had other stuff in there too. You know?
Well, there you go.
Sick and perverted.
That is a true story from the New York State Police Department.
That's upstate New York.
Yeah,
for you.
That's upstate New York. That's not New York City. You're for right now, you're fine in New York City, but just don't go upstate. You don't know what's happening up there.
Unless you really like cows.
Yeah. They got a lot of farms up there. All right. Well, there you go. That is a way to end the Crispy Noodle podcast. You never know what happens on the non-fortune cookie odd news. That was just so ridiculous. Like, I can't believe he tried to, like, minimize it. That was...
So many excuses to try and lighten the blow.
Yeah. But, yeah, unfortunately, he's still going to get some hefty charges his way. Could be serving jail a year and definitely going to be on the sex registry list. So,
yep, them's the consequences.
Yeah. So there you go. That is all the news that is fit to listen to on an episode of the Crispy Noodle podcast. If you like what you heard, make sure you go to our website, thecrispynoodle.com. Make sure you follow us on social media, but most importantly, make sure you have a way to get the podcast sent to you every week. 2 main ways to do it. First one is on our YouTube page. Go to our YouTube page channel, Crispy Noodle Podcast, and hit that red subscribe button so that you get the podcast sent to you every week with a fresh episode ready to go. Second main way to do it is on Spotify. We put the video podcast up on Spotify. But if you use Android Auto or Apple CarPlay, you can take us on the go with you with Spotify as an audio-only podcast. So if you're driving around, I'm not going to go there. No, if you're just driving around for the NFL draft or, I don't know, what else is happening?
You were going to say going to upstate New York.
No, I'm not going to upstate New York. You're going to go see Until Dawn. There you go. If you're going to do one of those things, make sure you take the Crispy Noodle Podcast with you on the go using Apple CarPlay and Android Auto integrated with Spotify, and you're good to go.
So many ways to check out the Crispy Noodle Podcast. But if you need to get in touch with us individually, you can find us on Blue Sky, where you can share your sports, entertainment, and odd news stories. I'm at Mikey Costanzo, MikeyCostanzo.
And I'm Matt Rich Liebig, RichLiebig. Let us know what's happening and what you want us to talk about on next week's episode. But for right now, we got to wrap this up. This has been the Crispy Noodle Podcast. Let us be the Crispy Noodle in your vegetarian salad of life and boring news. That'll do it. We'll see you guys next week.
See you guys.
Later. Bye-bye, all you fine peoples. Good night.
Some of us have great stories, pretty stories that take place at lakes with boats and friends and noodle salad. A lot of people, that's their story. Good times, noodle salad.